Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is Ingwe Canada, and today is May 3rd, May 5th, May 4th, apologies, 2021. The purpose of these live events is to answer all your immigration-related questions for free for a specific time period every Tuesday, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So today is the first day where we're live. Both on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you see that I'm looking at different cameras or I'm not looking directly here or there, it's because we're on 3 different platforms at the same time. So today's session, we're going to cover your questions, your immigration-related questions, whether you're outside of Canada, inside, whether it's for your family members, for yourself, for your friends. It doesn't matter. We're here to help you out, and that's the main purpose of this session. You can post comments and questions in the comments box, and we are happy to answer them live. Okay, so again, everybody who joined us, we're here to answer all your immigration-related questions. Take advantage of it because we do charge $250 an hour when clients come to our office to answer their questions. So make sure you use the time we allocate every Tuesday, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Any update for 6th of May? So our Aru90S is asking about the new PR stream for international students and foreign workers inside of Canada, whether there's any updates. Yes, we're posting an update today on our social media. The government has outlined the steps to register. There is a step to upload documents, so we do suggest everybody to have most of their documentation ready. Even if they don't ask you to upload the documents the same second when you register, it is important that you have the details of the documents, because when you want to enter the details of your eligibility, they will be asking for your IELTS or CELPIP or TEF, TCF exam scores. So these are all things that are very important to have. When you look at the post that we're going to have on our social media today, it's going to ask that during the registration process, the Canadian government will be asking for your eligibility, so they will be asking for your questions, and there will be an document upload stage, right? The full details are not there yet, but they have outlined the steps on their website, and it's important that everybody sees this. We will be posting it today on our social media. There will be a guide, but we believe that that may be available a day before or the same day. So that's all we know so far. The key is people who don't have their IELTS scores or are not working or do not meet the eligibility criteria for the new PR stream for international students and temporary foreign workers, they will probably be refused or won't be able to register. Because if you don't have an IELTS or CELPIP or the French exam scores and you want to enter your details in there, it will probably block you from registering. This is what we believe will happen. And it's important that anybody who plans to register on May 6th, which is this Thursday, we expect the program to open anywhere from 11 a.m. to 12 noonish, to have everything ready, because that's the process of the registration where you enter all your eligibility questions. So again, everybody who's joined us today, we're talking about different subjects regarding Canadian immigration. Feel free to ask your questions in the comment section. We're live on 3 different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and hopefully we'll be trying out TikTok in the future and maybe Clubhouse. So I have a question on Facebook and Instagram. So one says, Julianne says, can I apply for under essential workers without 1 year but have 1,560 hours? Yes, as long as well, the point, Julie, is you cannot accumulate 1,560 hours in less than 1 year. So if you've accelerated your hours to gain that 1-year work experience, that won't be accepted. Typically, IRCC Immigration Canada will only accept 30 hours maximum per week as your working hours, and you have to accumulate this over the year. It can be part-time, it can be over the last 3 years, so it can be bits and pieces. It doesn't have to be all in 1 year, but you cannot gain that work experience in 6 months or 8 months. So unfortunately, that's not acceptable. RRO90 is asking whether the document upload for this May 6th is going to be accepted in PDF. Yeah, so it's always the standard format. So whether it's PDF or JPEG, they have some other formats that are acceptable, but typically we always upload in PDF. And that's what we suggest for everybody else. So can you please post where are the steps for the registration? Sure, after the session, we'll post the link. And there's just a general outline of the general stages. There's no full details announced yet. The fees are announced, which are standard PR fees, nothing new, and just the stages. So you can expect what information they will want and what documents. So we have a lot of people on Facebook here too. And if there's any questions, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, we'd be happy to answer. And today, just everybody knows, today we'll be back at 5 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, that's North America Eastern Time, to answer your questions again. So we're here every Tuesday, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. RR90 is saying, my medical is not done. Is it fine? Yes, we don't believe that they will request your medical at that point. That's never happened in any previous program. That's never happened in Express Entry. Therefore, your medical is not necessarily required on the date of registration. We believe that they will be checking basically the eligibility in terms of the questions you answer, and potentially they will ask the IELTS or language score exam certificate number and other details such as your graduation, if you're a temporary foreign worker, your occupation. So make sure you know your occupation. You make sure that you are in an eligible occupation for the eligible temporary foreign workers, not the international students. And these are questions they may ask you. So Julianne C on our Facebook live stream is asking, because I work more than 30 hours every week. Yeah, so this is going back to the question about gaining 1,560 hours as a temporary foreign worker in that stream for the new PR program, because she works more than 30 hours. No, unfortunately, in 99% of all the immigration programs, they accept only 30 hours, okay? So you would gain the 2-week vacation period, let's say if you're in Ontario, or other vacation periods out in other provinces. So you could have less, but it's paid vacation. But you cannot accelerate your hours to finish your 1-year work experience 6 months or 8 months. They are specifically looking for 1 year. And everybody who's worried that they don't have the eligibility for May 6th, don't worry. We believe there will be future programs opening up this year. Based on our calculations in our office, there is a gap of approximately 100,000 applicants that for new permanent residency that they need to fill. They will do this with, we assume they will do this with Express Entry or new PR programs. So you never know. They may extend this program, they may close it and reopen it, they may introduce a new program. You never know. So make sure everybody, you're ready, at least if not for this program, for May 6th, for international students inside of Canada or temporary foreign workers, you're ready for the next one. Let's see some other questions. Can we pay the fees upfront? I believe the fees are taken when you submit all your final documents, okay? Because they will not start processing your application for permanent residency until they have the final application and all documents submitted. However, it is possible, but we don't suggest it, okay? There's another way to do it, but we don't suggest it. Other questions on Let's see what other questions there are. Okay, I'm not so good at this, folks. Sorry. Going alone here. You are okay. Yeah. So again, everybody, we're here to answer all your questions, immigration related for Canada. Express Entry recently had a draw for 400 points for Canadian Experience class. What does that mean for people who are inside and outside of Canada? It means if you're outside of Canada and you don't have Canadian Experience within your profile, minimum 1 year, minimum 1,560 hours, you would not be eligible for that draw. That just happened last week. Okay. The most important part is the Canadian government this year is prioritizing applicants from inside the country. Okay. So if you're inside the country, or if you were inside the country, you gained Canadian work experience and left, these are the priorities. So international students, temporary foreign workers, specific occupations, especially essential workers. These are basically all priorities for the Canadian government. If you cannot come into the country this year, you are at a disadvantage. Permanent residency programs are still open, but express entry, it's very unlikely that you will be selected from overseas unless you have a provincial nomination or previous Canadian work experience within that allowed time span. Business immigration programs are still open for permanent residencies and work permits, but it is tricky. Here's another question. Khan Pham is on our Facebook page, is asking, they have not updated any news regarding the required checklist for the new program, may I ask? So Khan, they have posted some basic information on the stages and the steps that need to be taken. We believe on May 6th, the full guide and the details will be made available. Right now, what we're going to be doing today before noon is posting this information on our website, on our social media, basically, on the stages that they're looking at implementing. So the Canadian government on their website has posted the steps that need to be taken. And based on that, you will have an idea of, hey, what do I need to have ready before I apply? Again, I mentioned to everybody, if you're looking to apply for the new PR program opening May 6th, if you don't have the eligibility criteria, working, language exam scores, or you haven't graduated yet and you don't have valid status, then unfortunately you will not be eligible. If there's any questions, please post them here. We're trying to keep updated. Okay, how many invitations approximately will the Canadian government be offering? This is Yes Pecan on our Facebook page. Well, they've already outlined for the PR program that's opening in 2 days, May 6th, 40,000 international students under the English stream, so English applicants. French applicants have no limit. So if it's 1 million or 2 million or 1, there's no limit, and obviously there's not 1 million French applicants. For the temporary foreign workers, it's 50,000, which is split into 2 categories of occupations. Again, there's a cap of 50,000 for English applicants and no cap, so no limit on number of applicants for French, because typically there's less French applicants. So kudos to everybody who does have the French exam, because you have until November 5th to apply for this program, unlike English applicants who have to scramble. So we have many of our clients which we're representing, and we will be applying first thing on Thursday when the program opens. We have our network of probably more than 15, 20 computers that will be registering them immediately to make sure they reserve their spot. Again, everybody, we're here to answer your questions. Every Tuesday, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. We were talking about the new PR program, which is the hottest topic. We're talking about the express entry draw that happened last week for 400 points for applicants who have Canadian work experience. So remember, with express entry, your profile is dynamic. You can always update it. You can change it as long as it's before you receive an invitation to apply. Your profile is valid for 1 year. When it expires, you create a new one. If you have 11 months of work experience, it counts as 0. If you have 1 year and 5 months work experience in express entry, it counts as 1 year. So the point is 1 year is 1 year. 11 months and 1 week is still 0. 1 year and 10 months or 11 months is still considered 1 year work experience in express entry. And remember, if you were working while you were an international student, that will not count in express entry. There are other programs around Canada that do accept that, but it's not federally mandated programs. I'm sorry if I'm rushing through a lot of information, everybody, but it's tricky. There's a lot of programs. Remember, there's over 75 immigration programs in Canada, and they're at the provincial level, they're at the federal level. And we're here every Tuesday, 9 a.m., 5 p.m. We're going to connect back again today at 5 p.m., answer more questions about the Ontario Provincial Nominee Program, other provincial nominee programs, because we cover Canada-wide, Express Entry, the new PR stream, and in case international students have any questions about transferring schools, or whether they have to study, work, and all other related questions. And remember, everybody, why pay $17,000 or $16,000 for college when you can be paying $9,500 for public college in Canada? This is the biggest mistake any applicants make, international students from overseas or when they come here and study. They believe that going to a big city like Toronto and Vancouver and paying $16,000 is going to get them the postgraduate work permit. Well, 50% less. You can be paying $9,500 in another province in the Atlantic and going to public college and gaining that work permit and having more programs available to you than you have in Vancouver, Montreal, or Toronto. So remember that. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back here again 5 p.m. today. It's Tuesday. We're Ingwe, Canada, and we help everybody outside and inside of Canada apply for Canadian immigration. There's one last question by Khan. Do you think express entry points for CEC will jump to 470 again? Nope. It is at 400 right now. It's been dropping. It may drop even further, and we believe there will be more programs opening up. Okay, so there's going to be more flexibility in terms of points dropping in express entry, new PR programs opening for whether international students or essential workers. There will be more programs coming up, but the points this year for express entry will not drop. There might be some volatility, but that's it. And then RR was asking, please answer my question. I'm not seeing your question. Maybe I answered it already. You'd have to repost. If it was regarding your medical, I answered that you don't need the medical on the date of submission. Okay, so I believe that was the question because I don't see any other questions. And Divyansh is asking on document, any update? There is a post by Immigration Canada. We're going to post it on our social media today. And it's outlined the stages and the steps, okay, of what you need to do and what to expect on May 6th, okay? So thank you, everybody. Got to go now. Lots to do. Get ready for May 6th. And if you're not ready for May 6th, there are other programs. So we highly recommend getting your language together, getting a job no matter what it is. But typically, it's always better to have a job in a NOC 0A or B. If you don't know what a NOC code is, then send us a message on our website. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks, everybody. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time. That's why I'm looking at different, because I've got two mobiles here and I've got my camera. So I've got three things, and hopefully we'll be on TikTok too soon as well. Divyansh, yeah, you'll see the post today, and we're going to have snapshots of it. And we're going to have links as well. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back today, 5 p.m. and again next Tuesday and this Thursday, a special event to show what the government has requested. Holding a PGWP. Julianne was saying because right now, yeah. So Julianne, if you're on a PGWP for the new PR stream, you do not need 1 year work experience, okay? But for express entry, you do. So contact us after on our website because there might be specifics about your case that we have to mention. So RRU, please reply. I didn't see your new question. You just asked about the medical. So you need to repost it. There's somebody who's asking a question. I just joined the live. I have one question. Is this pandemic time a good time to apply for work permit, non-essential jobs? Well, it depends if you're inside or outside of Canada. Right now, Canada is bringing in foreign workers, but you need an employer to sponsor you. Okay, so if you're in an essential occupation, healthcare occupation, there are opportunities, but you need to be connected with employers. If you're inside of Canada, well, yeah, if you have an employer or you're an international student who's graduating from a public post-secondary institution, it's a great time because the Canadian government is prioritizing applicants from inside of the country, not from outside. So they are giving more opportunities for permanent residency for people who are already here, studying, working, or whatnot. Okay, so I hope that's answered your questions. Feel free. No, I asked to switch my profile. Aru, no, I asked to switch my profile. No, I don't see any questions or regarding. Oh, if I already made the CEC, can I switch information for graduate program just to save time on 6th of May? I already made for Canadian experience class. Can I switch information for graduate program? Yeah, so it depends. If you mean you're inside of Canada, like you're applying for express entry and you've received the invitation to apply and you want to apply instead of May 6th, yes, as long as you have not accepted the invitation, right? So if you've already uploaded your PR, then you cannot have two PR applications at the same time. But if you have not been selected yet, yeah, sure. If you have not uploaded or paid the PR fee in the express entry, yeah, sure, you can go on the May 6th. But make sure all your documents are correct, even for the May 6th, okay? It's a risk you have to take. Benny is asking, I'm outside of Canada. Yeah, Benny, MTK, it's a good time, but it's difficult to get into Canada right now. So that's a reality. So unless you're in a specific occupation and you can connect with the right employers, then it may be challenging. Yeah, so that's it, everybody. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Again, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Okay, last question. Last question, Aru. On our Instagram page, I made the profile for CC. Can you use that information for graduate program? Is there a way to switch? No. This is a different program. It's all through the same portal, but it's a different program. No way, there's no overlap. So it's kind of like IELTS academic in general. There's no overlap. If you apply under the caregiver program, there's no overlap with express entry. If you're applying under the Ontario or other provincial programs, there's no overlap to a federal program. There is no overlap. Benny MTK is asking, does Ingwe provide counseling to people applying for work permit? Yes, to optimize the application. Yes, of course, that's what we do. That's our specialty. Go to Ingwe Canada website, ingwe.ca. You have our profile information on our social media. Send us a message. Mention you were at our Instagram or Facebook or YouTube live event, and we'd be happy to help you out to basically figure out what the best immigration path for you is. Okay? No worries, RRO. We are going, folks. We got to cut off now, but we're here at 5 p.m. today, Standard Eastern Time. We're back again Thursday, special event, just to tell everybody what's going on with the May 6th, because we would have probably registered all of our clients and reserved their seats and started uploading their information for the PR program. Okay, but afterwards in that evening, we're going to explain the whole process to you. If you did it correctly, if you didn't do it correctly, and if you weren't able to register, what are the opportunities that will come up? Okay, thanks everybody. I'm going to disconnect now. Appreciate it. Okay, I got 3 screens to disconnect, so I'm going to do them one by one. Here we go.